Alright, hey guys, She Detector here. So in today's video, we're going to be checking out some new gear and doing some metal detecting with it. So let's get to it. Alright, so this machine is really exciting. One, the price is really cheap, and two, it is very compact. So without further ado, let's check out the Pulse Dive. Okay, so the Pulse Dive is a scuba detector and a pinpointer built into one machine. Now this is actually made by Nokta Makro, and a couple of key things to know about this particular machine is it is waterproof, it is pulse induction, and it does have an LED flashlight on it. So let's go ahead and open it and see what it looks like. Alright, so it does come in a hard plastic case, and it's actually really small. This is, if I had to guess, I'd say maybe 18 inches by, I don't know, 6 or 7 inches, and it's only maybe 3 inches thick. So it's a relatively small case, and it's super light. So let's go ahead and open it. Alright, so let's see what all we have. So this is the actual unit here, and this is the scuba coil that's on it right now. So it does have a separate attachment specifically for the pinpointer. So let's go ahead and check that out. So this is the pinpointer attachment here, and it also comes with a case, Nokta Makro. And it also has a cover for the pinpointer right here. So this would just slip on. Let's see what else. We have another cap. Looks like this cap here is specifically for land use because it says for land use only. Do not use for diving. Let's see. We have our attachment here. This is like our lanyard here. So you can attach it to the detector. And it looks like the opening is right back here. So that is convenient actually, because there have been a couple of times where I'll use a pinpointer in the water, and if you don't have it hooked up to something, it either floats away or it sinks to the bottom. We have a couple of seals and O-rings here. And it looks like this is our USB charging cable. And let's see, we've got, looks like our headphones. So you can actually connect this to the wireless headphones that you can use with the Nokta Makro machines. So that's actually really convenient when you're using not necessarily the diving coil, but the pinpointer coil on land. You can pair it with your Bluetooth headphones, so that's really nice. And then we have the manufacturer's limited warranty. Important information when using it for diving, and then there's also an instruction manual book with it, and a nice little Nokta Makro bracelet that you can wear. Now this is one of those like rubber bracelets that you can put on. So that is everything that comes in our kit. So now let's check out the two different attachments. Alright, so it does come with little stickers on here that tells you which way to turn it so that you can take off the coil and switch it out for the pinpointer attachment here. So let's go ahead and try that. So I just turned it, and it's not really even that big of a turn. It's, gosh, maybe a ½ inch turn. There you go. So that's it right there. So you just turn it, and it pops right off. So that's what it looks like on the inside. Hopefully you guys can see that. So now, looks like there's a little cover on this. So we'll just pop this off. And then this also has a little sticker that tells you where to align it. So we'll align it there. There you go. You got to give it a good, nice little snug turn because there is a seal in here, and that does make it a little difficult to turn. There's a little seal right here, and you can't see it because it's black on black, but you got to line it up and turn it. There you go. Alright, so then you just put your little cover cap over top. So now you do have to line it up the proper way so it goes like this. There you go. So now you have a cover so you don't do what I do sometimes with my pinpointers and use them to dig. So at least with the cover, you're not going to be affecting the sensitive part here. So you put that on, and now you have yourself a handy dandy little pinpointer. All right, so now let's go ahead and turn it on and go through some of the functions. So there are 3 buttons here on the side. So here are the 3 buttons. So this is the power button. The F button here changes your modes, and then the A button here allows you to adjust a couple of the different settings. All right, so let's go ahead and power the unit on. So you just press the power button, and it'll beep, and then it'll also show a red light. So let me go ahead and do that again. There, so I just turned it off. So you hit it once and it turns on and it shows a little red and green light. And then to turn it off, you press and hold the power button. And then it flashes both lights and turns off and gives you a little notification sound too. So let's go ahead and turn it on. Now I am inside, so it will probably be picking up interference from my table and just from interference in the house in general. And we'll go ahead and go through the modes. So there are 3 different modes with this particular unit. So you can use it in sound only, where when you come across a target, it'll make a sound. You can use it in vibrate only, where when you go across a target, it'll vibrate, no sound. And then you can use it in vibrate and sound. Now for all of the modes, you will have a little light indicator here when you're over a target. So let's go ahead and change the mode. You just push the F button. Okay, so now you couldn't hear anything or see anything, but I felt it vibrate, and so now we are in vibrate mode. And you might be able to hear it vibrating, but you can definitely see the red light. All right, so let's go ahead and switch to the next mode. There, so now this should just be sound only, no vibration. Yep, and hopefully you guys can see that red light there. It is making noise, the light is indicating that there's a target, but there's no vibration. Okay, and now we are back in sound and vibration mode. All right, so now to use the adjust button, it works for 2 different things. You can adjust the sensitivity, or you can turn on the LED flashlight. So the LED flashlight is right up here on top. So if you hit the adjust button, it turns the flashlight on. So hopefully you guys can see that right there. Let's turn it off, turn it on, off, on. Okay, so now to adjust the sensitivity, you want to press and hold the F button and then press the A button. So now there are 5 levels of sensitivity, 1 through 5. And when you press the F button, when you press and hold the F button and hit A, the unit will indicate which level you're in by making a sound and vibrating. So let's go ahead and go through all 5 levels. Now 1 through 4 will be individual beeps for each level. Number 5 will be one long tone. So let's go ahead and go through it. Okay, so we were in level 1, now we're in level 2. Level 3, and it also does the light indicator here. So level 4, and then level 5 is the solid tone. There. So now we are at sensitivity level 5. So then to go back to level 1, there. So now we're in level 1. So now this does have a lost alarm. So if you are metal detecting and you're using it as a pinpointer and you lay it down somewhere and it's sitting for a couple of minutes, it will start indicating to let you know, like, hey, don't forget about me, by giving a tone and vibration when it's sitting for too long. And obviously, if you are still using it, like say you're using it in dive mode and you have it on continuously, but you're not finding a target continuously, after so many minutes, it'll think it's lost and it'll let you know by, you know, giving the sound and the vibration. But all you have to do is sweep it over another target and it'll register the target, and then it kind of cancels out the lost alarm. And then you have another, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes, however long it is, before it starts thinking it's lost again. So yeah, so that's the unit. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off. There you go, so that's off. And then let's go ahead and check out where you would actually charge it. So it is here in the cap. So let's go ahead and take this off. And it's kind of similar to replacing the coil. You just turn and twist it, and it really doesn't even, it's not a screw cap with threads. It's just kind of, you push it on and then you turn it kind of, I don't even know, maybe like an inch or 2, and then it's off. All right, so let's see if I can't show you guys the inside here. So this is the kind of charger that you use, and it does come with the USB charger. So you just plug it in here, plug it into your USB port, and then let it charge. All right guys, so I have been dying to try this machine out. So I'm gonna wrap up this unboxing and let's go ahead and head out to the beach so we can get in the water with it.
Carrot, guys.
Alright guys, so here are my finds for my hunt with the pulse dive. So I found one bottle cap, king of beers. I found one little Jeep car. Now this is actually still in really good condition. There is no rust on it and the wheels still turn like very, very freely. So I'm thinking this was a fresh drop, maybe even from today. And then the best find of the whole hunt is this beautiful looking 10 karat gold ring. So now I'm not positive what kind of stone this is. Maybe you guys can let me know what you think in the comments down below. It's really hard to tell. Heat Detector thought it might have been an opal, but I'm not sure. So let me know what you guys think. But this is a 10 karat gold ring. It's kind of bent up a little bit, so I'm wondering if it maybe could have gotten stepped on or something. You can see it there. It's a little wonky looking. I am super stoked that I found this ring, especially with my first dive with the pulse dive. So those are all my finds for my hunt today with the pulse dive. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it for today's video. While I was out actually in the water and actively detecting for about 2 hours, I only found those 3 targets that you just saw. Granted, one of them was a ring, so I'm really not complaining too terribly much, but I don't know if there just isn't a lot of drops at this particular location, or if because of the tides at this particular beach, maybe it just kind of washes everything away. There are really strong currents at this location, so I imagine anything that drops that's relatively light is just gonna get swept out with the current. I really don't know what it was, but I was in the water for about 2 hours and I only found those 3 targets. So it was starting to rain when I got there. My initial thought was I want to go when it's raining. One, because there's not going to be a lot of people there, so really nobody's going to necessarily get in my way and I'm not going to bother anybody. But then 2, I figured, well, I'm going to be in the water anyways, so who cares if it's raining? I don't care if I get wet. I'm going to be in the water. But fun fact, some Floridians don't care if it's raining or not. If they're at the beach, they're gonna stay at the beach because there was still a bunch of people there, even though it was pouring down rain. You guys could hear that in the camera when I was under the water. All of that little pitter patter, that was rain hitting me while I was in the water. Now granted, I was pretty submerged, but still, you could hear the rain because it was coming down. So for my first hunt out with the pulse dive, I opted to do snorkeling versus actual diving for a couple of reasons. One, I wanted to make sure that if something happened to go wrong with the machine or anything like that, I wasn't gonna necessarily be 20, 30, 60 feet down, and I could easily come back to the beach to, I don't know, adjust the machine or address a seal or anything like that. So for the maiden voyage out, I did some snorkeling, so I really wasn't able to get too terribly deep. The ring that I found was probably in about, I don't know, 4 feet of water or so. So when I found it, I kind of was stretching my arm out about as far as it could go, and the machine coil wasn't flat against the sand. I kind of had it tilted up. So that just goes to show you that even with it tilted and not completely down on the sand, it was still able to pick up that ring, and it's a relatively small ring. But I jacked the sensitivity all the way up to level 5 so I could make sure I got as much depth as I could out of the machine, knowing that I was going to be snorkeling and not able to stay down on the ocean floor. So the machine handled fantastically in the water. Again, this is a pulse induction machine, so it's really, really easy to use. There's really not a lot of bells and whistles, which makes it super easy for beginners. But because of what you can do with it, like go diving, it's also perfect for more advanced hunters who don't necessarily have a larger unit. This is perfect because you can get down deep and it doesn't cost you a whole lot of money. It's not gonna break the bank. I do like how compact it was. I was able to go out with my snorkel and my mask, my pulse dive, and my digger bag, and that was it. I didn't need a long shaft. I didn't have cables connecting to headphones or anything like that, so it was really nice to be able to have everything I needed in one hand as I walked from the car down to the beach. So that was really nice. Now, I know a lot of people talk about machines that have an external speaker, so when you're using them underwater, a lot of people say you can't hear it. Now, if the machine is underwater and your head is above water, you're probably not gonna hear it. But for this, my ears were under the water and I could hear the machine just fine underwater. No headphones or anything, it was just the machine underwater and me underwater. I could hear it just fine. So I do like that. I didn't use the flashlight on this machine. It really wasn't dark enough to use it. I had actually taken my Wizard Pro flashlight out with me for this hunt with intention of using the Pulse Dive and the Wizard Pro flashlight. But when I got out there, I turned the flashlight on and there was just still way too much sunlight for you to really even see the flashlight. I mean, you guys could see the footage. It was just daytime, even though it was super cloudy outside. So the flashlight, I unfortunately wasn't able to use it on this particular hunt, but I will in an upcoming hunt. So I really enjoyed using the Pulse Dive, even more so because I found a ring with it, my first time out with it. That is also ring number 1 for 2019, and I feel like it's my only ring in like a year and a half, which is crazy when you think about it. But yeah, just for the simple fact that I found a ring with this unit, I'm super excited and I give it high recommendation, thumbs up all around. It was an awesome machine. I really enjoyed using it and I really can't wait to get it out there and try it again. So if you're interested in the Pulse Dive, make sure you check out the link in the description that I have down below. I have all the information you need there for it. Big thanks to Nokta Makro for sending me the Pulse Dive to try out. I'm really enjoying it, especially knowing that it's a ring finder. A big thanks to Eliter Shoes for sending me a new pair of Eliter shoes. There were a couple of shells here on this hunt that I stepped on that had I not been wearing shoes, I probably would have cut my foot open. They kind of look like discarded oyster shells, which is a little concerning because I don't think there's any oyster beds near this particular location. But so a big thanks to Eliter Shoes for sending me some new water shoes. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to hit it with a big thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber to my YouTube channel yet, please make sure you do so by hitting the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and until next time, I will see you guys later.